Hey, my name's Jonny Bradley, and over the next few months, I'm going to be hand-holding a Seller Pro Academy student through the entire process of setting up and launching their own Amazon FBA business, taking them from zero to over £100,000 in sales. Welcome to the One Product Challenge.
The conversations we had yesterday made me realise that what I was looking at was just the same as what everyone else was doing. There is nothing like this at all. It's going to stand out so much, and I'm really excited about it because it looks wicked.
Now, hold up, before we actually get into this, let me first explain what Amazon FBA is. Amazon FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. It's a service Amazon offers to sellers that use the Amazon platform. It's where they store, pick, pack, and post the products you sell, meaning you don't have to send in the products yourself, hire staff, or have warehouse space. What I do and teach is something called private labeling, whereas instead of buying products like Beats and Fairy Liquid and then selling them on Amazon, you're creating your own branded products. As an overview, you're going to find a product that has good demand, so a lot of customers searching and buying the product. You identify a gap in the market and an opportunity. You create a brand, have the product manufactured, and have them shipped into an Amazon warehouse. You can then leverage the millions of customers shopping on Amazon every single day. Of course, it's more detailed than that, but during this challenge, you're going to be able to see the entire process start to finish. So the purpose of this case study is to give you a behind the scenes access as to how actually starting and running an FBA store looks like in real life. I know I have lots of success stories come onto the channel and they talk about their experience, but we never actually see their experience. So this is what this case study is all about. For this challenge, I wanted to take someone that's already been through my training but hasn't actually put anything into practice yet. So I wanted to find a student that got to the stage where I could come in and I could make the biggest improvements to their journey, but also not so new that they didn't understand some of the terminology that we'd be using throughout this challenge. I happened to connect with a Seller Pro member named Mario, and over the last year I know he struggled with trying to find a product to sell, but that was until a conversation we had over email just a few weeks ago. And I thought this was a great opportunity to accelerate his progress because he got far enough to know what he was doing, but not so far that anything was set in stone. So a few weeks ago I decided that I would pay him a visit, and this is what happened. Time to go, boy. I think this case study is going to be really interesting just because, you know, I've helped people online, I've helped people over Skype or Zoom or whatever, but I've never actually gone to someone's house and taken them through the whole process over a period of months. So it's going to be really interesting just to see, you know, really how that goes and how long it's going to take. Mario?
Hey!
Hey man, how you doing?
Welcome!
Yeah, can I come in?
Absolutely, come in.
I'll bring my cameraman with me.
My name's Mario and I'm a member of the Seller Pro Academy.
Good, how you doing?
Yeah, really well, thanks Jonny. Thanks for coming all this way.
Should we get to it?
Absolutely, come in. At the time I first started looking at selling on Amazon, I had a full-time job as a salesperson for a software company. Selling on Amazon is important to me because I want to be able to control the money I earn. I don't want to be relying on somebody else. And I've always wanted to own my own business, and this was the best way I felt of starting my own business.
And we have the cat vlog. Oh, Douglas. Hey Douglas, you're going to be in the video today. Wicked. So the whole point of this case study is just to take you through setting up a product on Amazon, getting it live, and dominating the world, right?
That's the plan.
So the One Product Challenge is quite scary for me. It's quite important. Showing behind the scenes, actually one of my students going through the entire process of setting up an Amazon FBA business using private labeling is a scary thing. It takes a lot of time. I've never done this before. So for me, it's a personal challenge, but also I think it's going to be incredible content for everyone that is watching at home to be able to see behind the scenes as to what this is really like. So today, what I thought would be really useful for everyone watching is to understand a bit more about your backstory. We'll talk about what stage you're at, kind of any hurdles you've overcome, any that you're slightly going to get to soon.
Yeah.
And we'll make an action plan for the next kind of couple of weeks.
Perfect.
Sound good?
Absolutely.
There is a ton that could go wrong. Of course, I'm not Mystic Meg. I can't predict the future, and I can't even predict if Mario is going to do any of the work. So there's so much that could go wrong. There could be dodgy manufacturers. There could be items lost at sea. They could be blocked in a canal for 2 weeks. There's so many things that could go wrong, but that is part of business. That's part of owning something where you're able to be the sole shareholder, the sole stakeholder of that business. You hold the risk, but also you get all the reward if it goes well. I guess for the benefit of everyone at home, what have you done so far? What stage are you at, today, basically?
Today, I'm at the stage where I've chosen my product. I've chosen a brand name that I'm happy with. Probably need to talk about it in a little bit more detail with you. I hope that when Jonny sees the brand name that I've chosen, that he can see how I've got to it. I know Jonny's got really high standards with brands and branding. It's not anything I've done before, so I'm really excited to show him, but I'm also really nervous to see what he's going to think. And yeah, of course, I've been engaging with you, so I'm at the stage where I've ordered my samples, just waiting for them to turn up.
Ordering samples is one of the most important things you do when you're doing a product research. If you were to buy a product in bulk and you spend £1,000, £2,000, £5,000 on stock and you haven't had a sample, it's crazy. The fact of the matter is, in real life, a lot of people don't get samples and they end up selling a product that has defects, that has issues. So never ever order a product without getting samples.
And as long as they're all okay and there's no problems, then I hope to be in a position where I can order my first stock, which is
scary.
Right? Yeah, it's scary. So the money that I'm planning on spending on stock, I'm really nervous about it because I've never spent this much money before on anything.
We've obviously been talking about different product ideas. The product that you've kind of got the sample coming from sample coming now is not the first product. So talk to us about that. How did you find previous products, and why didn't you choose them going forward?
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a really good question. So I've looked at a few different products before, and I've even got to the stage where I've ordered samples of other products before, and I think to be frank, I think I just rushed them. When I ordered samples, my first set of samples, I was really excited initially, but it got really disheartening when I realised it wasn't the right product to sell. First one is get involved. I was like, found a product and I'll just make it work. I didn't do a lot of the background research. I think I jumped into it before I'd watched a lot of the rest of the course, and then I watched more of the course, and I realised that this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And but that's okay. It's a learning experience. So I've learned that the products I'd ordered were not going to work because I found that they were going to be too low margin. The next one was another product that I was looking at, which was reusable sandwich bags.
Yeah, okay.
And again, I thought, there was demand there, but I would have had to have sold a lot of them to make any kind of serious money.
A common issue for beginners like Mario is that they find these sorts of products which are quite cheap and really hard to stand out. Sometimes it's actually better to find products that have slightly less demand, but actually opens up more opportunities to find really good gaps in the markets.
Yeah, as I watched more of the course and I realised actually how important building a brand was. Yeah. That understanding that was why I decided to just ditch that idea.
Okay.
So after that, I got frustrated with the whole process and just concentrated on work. I poured quite a lot of money and time into researching these products, and when I realised they weren't going to work, I was ready to give up. In fact, I had given up. You and I have been talking through the support over the last few months, and I've looked at different products, and you've given me feedback on why certain things won't work, and I think I was just falling into the same traps I was before, just looking at products which I was going to have to sell an awful lot of to make any kind of serious money. And then you actually suggested to me, why don't you just look a little bit
higher
price. So when I changed my search criteria, I found a product much quicker because the number of products I could look at was significantly higher. So I found a product, I think, in about 2 weeks. And so I found a product now which I'm really happy with. There's great demand. I know loads of people that have got them. I'm really happy with it.
Okay, cool. So what I want to see now is Mario's logo and his brand name.
Not very good at designing stuff myself, so I had it made.
Okay, what you used, Fiverr?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right, so these are the two logos. Okay, can we make these bigger? There's a zoom thing. Sorry, I just poked your screen. Immediately, right, I know what the brand name is actually called. Right, I can see you smiling. What's the problem? My first impression of the logo, unfortunately, wasn't the best impression, just because I didn't really know what it said, and it looked a bit basic, essentially, a bit amateur.
There's no vowels in the name, but that means it can easily be misinterpreted for the wrong word. Okay, so when I look at that, and let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think the brand name is? Let me know right now. Right, I'm gonna. So it's going to be a mix up between basically two. Okay. Yeah.
So it's either going to be recover.
Yeah.
Or receiver.
Yeah.
Okay, and obviously, it's which one? Which one is it?
Well, it's recover.
Okay. But it's receiver. So when you have a logo that like this, so basically think, all right, your customers come home from work, they've got the delivery, they've opened the Amazon box, it has this on the packaging, and they use it. Next week, they go to their friends and they go, oh yeah, I got this, this product.
Yeah.
And they go, okay, you should buy it, it's really good. Okay, what's the brand name? How do I find it? I don't know exactly. It's like an acronym, and I don't really, I don't really know what it says, right?
Yeah.
Customers aren't going to know which one that is from the box, right? Unless you explicitly tell them. A brand name needs to be easily understood. If it's not easily read, heard, said, communicated, then you can't expect your customers to remember to promote you. Your customers are going to be your promoters, and if they don't remember who you are, then they're not going to be able to tell their friends and family about you. So I think we need to do some work on making it more obvious.
I think so.
Or change the brand name. When you have to ditch an idea, a brand name, a logo or anything, it does hurt. I've done this in the past quite a few times, and you kind of think, well, why should I? Why should I ditch this? You think of all the reasons why you shouldn't move on and find something better, but sometimes it's much better to just rip the Band-Aid off and just start afresh. How do you feel about that?
Well, look, frustrated, but obviously, I want it to be right. To be honest, I was a little bit annoyed. I put a lot of time into developing this logo. I was really happy with it. And to hear Jonny tell me it wasn't good enough and it wasn't going to work, it wasn't good. Yeah. And I don't want that kind of confusion. So I'd rather go through the extra work now before I'm committed to ordering a whole load of stock with a brand name that isn't going to work. So
I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to try and find on my phone one that I did, right? Okay, so this is the problem. So this is, I'm not sure if you can see this, guys. This is a brand name I was working on. And there we go. So yeah, it's Red Eye, but also it's ready. And it's quite hard to understand from the customer's perspective what that is, because there's a lot of brand names that you think, well, how do you actually say it? Is it Gucci? Or Gookie. If you don't know, you don't know. A brand like Gucci, obviously everyone knows that it's Gucci, but there are still issues with big brands. If you look at Nike, is it Nike or Nike or Porsche or Porsche? There's still issues with these huge brands, and everyone knows about them. So if you have a small brand, you cannot expect a customer to go the extra mile and remember if you're making it hard for them to remember. I mean, I reckon with this brand, you can go modern, sleek, and think about what would an influencer use. Okay. Right? Because that's the kind of market that will do really well for you. Yes. Is you give it to some influencers and they just love it. Not every product is going to be great for social media influencers. Of course, there's some things that aren't going to fit. But for a product like this is going to be so influential in his success. So it's important that we create something and create a brand and a look that will align with trends, making it trendy, making it look good, making it feel good, so that influencers will want to promote it and they'll want to use the product and share it with their followers. You're explaining a lot of stuff which makes a lot of sense. And this is why this is so valuable, because I'm looking at it and coming up with my own ideas. But I'm not a designer, and this is stuff that I haven't really
haven't thought about perhaps as much as I should have done.
Yeah. At this point, yes, I was a little worried because obviously asking someone to change their brand name is not that nice of a thing to do. So what I thought was, let's see if we can make the logo better. And if it's the case that we need to create a new brand, then so be it. If you can find a way to do that so that the logo is unique, right, and quite modern, so even if you open up and so maybe go back to the fonts and just try and find modern fonts if they have the option for it, because then that also looks like, let me just show everyone. So what I was trying to do is just have a look at different options, right, of how to lay this out. So that looks like Rico and then VR. Yeah, right, and like virtual reality. So, or Reco VR, Rico VR. So again, it doesn't tell me that it says recover. It's important to take influence from as many places as possible. So when you're coming up with your logos, go on Google and just look at different letters, different ways, different things, different icons that you can take, put on a mood board, and then keep so that you can give to a designer when the time is right.
Well, I'm just looking at the brands of existing sellers that are doing really well, and I mean, they just don't. I don't think they look very good. I mean, what are some of these brands? I mean, what is this?
At this point, I was really hoping that Mario would come to the conclusion that this isn't the right brand name, but this is a conclusion that he has to come to and not me, because if I go in there and say, I think you should change it, there's going to be a little bit of ego there, and that will get in the way of actually creating the better brand name. Hard to say, hard to read, you don't know what they mean.
No.
Right? So when we look at these, do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yes, because we don't want you to be another one of these people where you're like, who are the brand name? Who are they? What do they do?
Correct.
Right?
It needs to stand out. So when I was looking through all the other brands, the penny dropped. My brand was exactly the same as everyone else's.
Our brains are wired to see the differences rather than the similarities. So when you have a product or a brand that is different, automatically a customer's focus is going to be drawn to it straight away.
I'd spent a lot of time thinking about how to improve what I'd just done. But actually what I should have been thinking was, I need to do the whole thing again and start from the beginning.
This is the exact realization I wanted Mario to have, to try and think outside the box and do things that other people aren't willing to do. All right, Mario, so on this piece of paper, we're going to have a goals list or a task list. Really important. If you're working on your business, you're a busy guy, you've got other things to do. Everyone watching, you're all busy. Write down your goals because you're 42% more likely to achieve a goal if you write it down. Goals or tasks, what do we need to do?
So we need to think about the brand name, what it looks like, so go through a few different options.
Okay, cool. So what we want on here is, let's break this down into a few different areas, and when we can get them done by, right? So you're going to not focus on everything at once. You're going to be focusing on, let's say, the brand name first, right? So, in fact, actually scrap that. The first thing we need is the vision and the owned emotional selling point, right? That needs to be nailed.
Vision.
It's really important that Mario has this accountability, does his homework, so that he can focus on the things that are going to make a difference right now. So from the kind of 15th, 16th onwards, is really looking at the brand name, right? And trying to come up with ideas that are more understandable at a glance. And then by this time, next time I come back, then we should have these. We should also have the sampling, like in your...
Yeah, I expect so,
should be here, right?
Should be here.
But if it does go on, I'll give you some more homework until we wait for sample, and I'll come back when we have the sample so we can assess and we can look at it, so we can do a little update about the actual product, and we can also do an update about these.
Perfect.
Cool?
Very good.
Sound good? Boosh. Alright, so I received the text from Mario with a new brand name, if you want to come have a look. So this is it. If you remember from the video, whenever it was, I kind of said his brand name was rubbish and I didn't like it, and he's come up with this one, Nordic Wave Massage Therapy. I think it looks incredible. When Mario actually texted me that brand name, I was astounded, as I actually thought it was someone else's brand.
This brand that I've come up with, it's something that I'm really excited about. It's something that I've had in the back of my mind for a while, but because it was very different to what other people were doing, I wasn't sure if it was going to work.
So much better. So what I thought I'd do is give him a quick ring, and we'll see how he came up with it. Mario?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Hey? I'm good. You?
Yeah, very good, thank you. So, talk to us about the new brand.
Yeah, so I'm excited about it. So I did some work last night, and I ran it through with a mate of mine. And so one of the things I was thinking of is going for like a Nordic / Scandinavian theme. And so we just sat down and brainstormed. And yeah, I've got something that I'm pretty happy with.
I think it's really, really good. It is like night and day difference from when we spoke yesterday about the brand name. So how do you feel like what do you feel the difference is for you? Like, do you feel more attached to it or compared to the last brand name?
Yeah, I do. You know, the conversations we had yesterday made me realise that what I was looking at was just the same as what everyone else was doing. And there is nothing like this at all. It's going to stand out so much, and I'm really excited about it because it looks wicked. It looks
like when you sent it to me, you know, I said like, "Oh, is this yours?" I didn't actually. I thought you were maybe showing me someone else's like brand name, like that was similar to what you was going for. So that first instance for me, it was like you're on the money there because it looks and feels like a real brand. So run with that. Let's start getting the vision done for it, the OESP, do some due diligence checks, and then let me know tomorrow kind of what you put together. Sound good?
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you.
All right, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, cheers.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
Oh. When I look at the two brands together, the old one and the new one, I can't believe that I was going to go with that brand. The new one the difference is night and day. The new one just looks so much better and I'm so excited about it.
Next time on the One Product Challenge, I revisit Mario after he's received a product sample and purchased a competitor's product. And we're also going to reveal the product he's selling and why he chose to sell that product. We're going to find out if he decided to keep his new brand name and try to come up with an offer that's going to be really irresistible to customers. To watch this video when it goes live, make sure you're subscribed with your notifications turned on, and remember, you're just one product away. Bye-bye.